There comes a moment in the life of every chosen one when the ordinary no longer satisfies, and a quiet yet powerful awakening begins to stir deep within. Have you ever felt as though you were meant for something greater, as though the universe was whispering your name, urging you to rise above the mundane and align with a higher purpose? If you're here today, it's not by accident. You are one of God's chosen ones, called to unlock the boundless energy within you and step into your divine destiny. But how does one answer such a profound call? Throughout history, sages, warriors, and visionaries have turned to one timeless practice to elevate their lives: semen retention. What if I told you this sacred discipline is not merely about restraint, but about channeling your most vital energy into spiritual growth and personal transformation? Could this be the key to the clarity, strength, and high-frequency living you've been seeking? Before we dive deeper, let me take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to those who have supported this mission of enlightenment through super thanks. Your contributions are a testament to the power of this community. You're not only helping to spread wisdom, but also empowering countless others to step into their calling. And to everyone here ready to embark on this sacred journey, comment 77 below as a sign of your commitment to growth and transformation. Are you ready to take that first step? The journey of semen retention is not a simple one. It involves navigating 7 distinct cycles, each filled with challenges and breakthroughs. Have you wondered why every great transformation comes with tests of endurance? What if these cycles were designed to shape your character, refine your spirit, and unlock your highest potential? What are these 7 cycles? How do they prepare you to harness divine energy and elevate your life to new heights? Let's explore this sacred path together and uncover the answers that will guide you toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. God's chosen ones, here are 7 cycles of semen retention you go through to attain high-frequency energy. The journey begins with the awakening, a powerful moment of realization that you have been unknowingly squandering the most precious resource at your disposal, your vital energy. This awakening is not just physical, it is deeply spiritual. It's when you come to understand that your energy is not meant to be drained aimlessly, but to be preserved, cultivated, and redirected toward a higher purpose. Society has long conditioned you to believe that constant release is not only natural, but necessary. Yet, deep within, you begin to sense that this isn't true. Why do you think God has entrusted you with such a precious gift of energy? You realize your energy is meant for something greater. And as you awaken to this truth, you are called to honor your body as the temple it is. In the first 7 days of this awakening phase, you face the challenge of recalibrating both your mind and your body. This is a critical time, and your mental focus will be tested. Have you ever felt torn between following your higher calling and the temptations that have been part of your life for so long? The cravings of old habits can feel overwhelming, and there may be moments when you doubt the path you're on. But this is where true transformation begins. And just like David, who was anointed as king while still a shepherd, you are being called to something greater. In 1 Samuel 16:7, God reminds us, "The Lord does not look at the things people look at." People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. It is the heart that is being purified and strengthened in this phase, preparing you for the trials ahead. During this early phase, you will experience restlessness. As your physical system adjusts, you may feel an internal struggle, as though your body is resisting the change. How can you embrace this restlessness as part of the refining process? The discomfort you feel is not a sign of failure, but a sign of growth. It's akin to the process of refining silver in the fire, where the impurities are burned away and only the purest remains. In these moments of discomfort, you are being forged into a stronger version of yourself. The battle of the mind intensifies in this period as doubts and temptations rise. Your mind may try to hold on to old habits, questioning whether the struggle is worth it. This is when your discipline will be tested. What will you do when faced with the temptation to give up or return to old ways? The Apostle Paul in Romans 12:2 exhorts us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." It is in this renewing of the mind that you begin to break free from the chains that have bound you to the past. Every temptation you face is an opportunity to renew your mind and strengthen your resolve. As you wrestle with these temptations, remember the example of Jesus in the wilderness. When Satan tempted him, he did not succumb, but instead used the word of God to resist. Matthew 4:1-11. Will you choose to resist like Christ did, using the strength of the Holy Spirit to fight back? Just as he overcame the enemy, you too can overcome your temptations, using your higher purpose as your guide. In these early days, you are being trained for what's to come, and each day you resist the pull of old habits. You build the strength to face even greater challenges. This phase is about laying the foundation for what lies ahead, developing the discipline to focus, to control your impulses, and to stay aligned with your divine purpose. How will you allow this awakening to transform your life? Consider the story of Joseph in Genesis 39. When tempted by Potiphar's wife, he chose to honor God and flee from sin, even though it led to hardship. But his faithfulness ultimately led to his elevation and fulfillment of his divine purpose. In the same way, you are being called to make choices that honor your higher calling, even when faced with difficulty or temptation. Are you ready to step into your purpose? The first 7 days of this awakening are not just a test of willpower. They are the beginning of a deeper transformation that will carry you forward on your journey. Each day you endure. Each choice to resist will strengthen your discipline and prepare you for the cycles that will follow. Will you embrace this awakening, knowing that it is the start of something much greater than you can yet comprehend? Trust in the process, for through this journey, God is shaping you into the person He has always called you to be. As the second week begins, a powerful shift takes place. A profound process of purification begins within both your body and mind. This is the stage where the deeper, more noticeable effects of energy retention start to manifest. It marks a time of cleansing, both physically and spiritually, and the changes you undergo during this period will be transformative. It's as though the practice itself triggers a spiritual detox, releasing not only the physical toxins that have accumulated within your body, but also the mental and spiritual impurities that have been weighing you down for years. Just as the Bible speaks of purification through faith, this process mirrors the spiritual cleansing that God often leads His followers through. For example, in Psalm 51:10, David pleads, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." This heartfelt cry is a desire for inner purification, a longing for a heart that is cleansed of past sins and burdens. In the same way, as you begin this journey of energy retention, you're purifying your heart and mind, creating space for a new level of spiritual clarity and purpose to emerge. Think about it. How much of your past mental clutter and emotional baggage are you carrying with you? What if the process of shedding these impurities could bring about healing and clarity in ways you never expected? Could the release of old thought patterns, unhealthy attachments, or even past hurts make way for a new sense of peace and empowerment? In this second week, your energy begins to be redirected into healing and rejuvenation. The more you focus on your inner purity, the clearer your vision becomes. You are not just healing your body, you are cleansing your soul, making room for greater spiritual and emotional growth. The Bible reminds us in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." This transformation is the same. The old unhealthy patterns fall away, and the new purified version of yourself begins to emerge. Have you considered how this purification process might affect the relationships and environments around you? When you cleanse your energy, your presence becomes more radiant, attracting positivity and grace into your life. This is the essence of divine purification. It empowers you to live out your true purpose, free from the weight of past impurities. So, as you move into this second week, think about the layers that are being shed, the mental and emotional baggage being released. How might your life begin to change once you fully embrace this transformation? What new doors of opportunity and growth could open up as you allow this purification process to unfold? Physically, you may begin to notice tangible signs of this cleansing. Your body becomes lighter, more energetic, and healthier. Increased energy levels become noticeable, and there may be a newfound sharpness to your senses. Perhaps your skin clears up, glowing with a vitality that reflects the energy being restored to you. This is the body's way of telling you that it is recalibrating, moving from a state of depletion to one of abundance. Much like in the book of Daniel, where Daniel chose not to defile himself with the king's food and was found to be healthier and stronger than the others, Daniel 1:15, your body begins to respond positively to the decisions you've made. What does it mean for you that your body is becoming a reflection of your renewed commitment? The mental fog that once clouded your clarity begins to dissipate. This is not just a physical cleansing, it is a mental and spiritual transformation. You may begin to notice that thoughts come to you with greater ease, and your focus sharpens. Your mind, which once felt distracted or fogged by constant cravings or unhealthy attachments, begins to regain a sense of purpose. Can you remember a time when your mind felt clouded, and what it would mean for you to have that fog lift? It is almost as if you're seeing life with new eyes, more awake, more aware, and more connected to the deeper purpose that lies within you. This clarity is a gift, a sign that you are becoming more aligned with your higher self. This phase of purification brings you closer to understanding the powerful truth in Romans 12:1-2, where Paul urges us to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. In this moment of purification, your body and mind are being prepared for greater things. You are dedicating yourself to God's higher purpose, honoring Him with your renewed energy and focus. The clarity you begin to feel in this phase is not just for yourself, but to serve a higher calling. What might God be revealing to you in this season of purification? Spiritually, this phase is like the moment when Jesus cleansed the temple, driving out those who were using it for their own gain. In John 2:16-17, it says, "To those who sold doves, he said, 'Get these out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a market.' His disciples remembered that it is written, 'Zeal for your house will consume me.' Just as Jesus purified the temple, so too are you purifying your own temple, your body and mind, so that they may be fit for the work God is calling you to do. What impurities in your own life need to be driven out so that you can become more fully aligned with your divine purpose? As your body and mind continue to purify, it's essential to acknowledge the changes you are experiencing, both internally and externally. This process isn't always comfortable, but it is necessary. Just as gold is purified in fire, so 2. Are you being refined? Are you ready to fully embrace this purification process, even when it feels difficult? The discomfort you experience is a sign that you are shedding the old, making space for the new energy, new clarity, and new purpose. As you journey through this phase of purification, you may ask yourself, how can I use this newfound clarity and energy to fulfill the purpose God has laid out for me? The changes you are undergoing are not for your own benefit alone. They are to equip you for the greater work that is to come. In this purification phase, you are not just preparing your body and mind, but also your spirit, readying yourself to be a vessel through which God's light and energy can flow freely and powerfully. However, purification is not just a physical process. It also extends deeply into the emotional and mental realms. During this time, suppressed emotions and unresolved issues from your past may begin to resurface, making this phase even more profound. Have you ever experienced moments when past wounds seem to come to the surface unexpectedly, forcing you to confront emotions you thought were long buried? Regrets, guilt, and fears can flood back into your awareness, making you question your ability to move forward and even doubting your readiness for the changes taking place. But it is important to understand that these feelings are not coming to break you, they are coming to cleanse you. Just like when a potter refines clay by heating it in a kiln, all the impurities in your emotional and mental state must rise to the surface in order to be removed. These old emotions are like impurities in your soul, ready to be released. Can you see the value in facing these emotions, even though they are uncomfortable? In Philippians 3:13-14, Paul speaks of leaving behind what is past to press on toward the goal, saying, "Brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus." In the same way, the painful emotions of the past, while difficult to face, must be let go of so that you can move forward toward the greater purpose God has for you. In this purification phase, the feelings that emerge, be they guilt, regret, or fear, are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for healing. What would it mean for you to release these past emotions and step into the freedom God is calling you toward? The process of purification is not just about cleansing your body of toxins, but also purging your heart and mind of the things that have held you captive. These emotions are rising to the surface like dross in a refining fire, and they must be dealt with if you are to experience the full surge of energy that lies ahead. Consider the story of King David, a man who was deeply acquainted with regret and guilt. In Psalm 51:10 he cries out, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." David's prayer was not just for the removal of sin, but for a complete cleansing of his heart and mind. He understood that purification required more than just outward change. It required an internal transformation. In the same way, as these emotions resurface, you are being called to purify your heart and mind, releasing the weight of your past in order to step into the fullness of your future. This process may feel overwhelming at times, but remember, it is necessary. Are you willing to face these emotions head-on, knowing that your spiritual, emotional, and mental clarity will grow stronger as you do? The more you embrace this purification with patience and courage, the more prepared you will be for the powerful surge of energy and purpose that awaits you. The purification process is not meant to break you. It is meant to prepare you for what's to come. Just as a warrior must shed his old armor to put on new, stronger protection, you too must release old burdens to receive new strength and vitality. As you enter the third cycle, a dramatic and transformative shift begins to unfold. The energy you have been carefully preserving throughout the previous cycles starts to accumulate, creating a surge that is both powerful and invigorating. Have you ever felt like a sudden burst of energy washed over you, filling you with the sense that anything is possible? This is the moment when you begin to experience the true power of your retention. It's as though your very being is infused with a vitality and strength that seemed distant in the past. You may feel more confident, assertive, and capable of tackling challenges that once appeared insurmountable. This surge of energy is not just a temporary high, it is the beginning of a deeper, lasting transformation. Physically, you may notice a newfound vigor in your body. Your stamina reaches new heights, and activities that once left you feeling drained now feel manageable and even invigorating. It is as though your energy reserves are limitless, as if every cell in your body has been rejuvenated and empowered. This is not just coincidence. Your dedication to preserving your energy has led to a profound internal shift, one that aligns your body and spirit for greater accomplishments. What could you accomplish if you had this level of energy and focus every day? In this cycle, your mental clarity also sharpens. Creativity flows with ease, ideas come effortlessly, and solutions to problems seem to present themselves naturally. You may find that the things that once required great effort now feel effortless, and the creative blocks that held you back begin to melt away. This surge in creativity is not just about artistic pursuits, but also about problem solving and innovative thinking. It's as if you've tapped into a higher frequency where inspiration flows freely. How could this surge in creativity enhance your daily life or your work? It's as though the very act of preserving your energy has unlocked a gateway to a deeper well of inspiration and insight. The Bible offers numerous examples of individuals who experienced such surges in energy and capability when they were aligned with God's will. One of the most striking examples is the story of Elijah in 1 Kings 19:8, where, after receiving God's strength, he journeys for 40 days and nights on the strength of a single meal. The text reads, "He got up, ate and drank. Strengthened by that food, he traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God." Just as Elijah was strengthened by God to accomplish the impossible, so too are you receiving a divine surge of strength and energy. What is God calling you to accomplish with the renewed strength and creativity He has given you? This phase of the journey is empowering because it marks a point where you are no longer just surviving, you are thriving. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming now feel like opportunities for growth and success. What new possibilities open up for you when you harness the energy you've cultivated? The surge you are experiencing is a reminder of the divine potential within you. Just as the Apostle Paul says in Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me." This surge of energy is a reflection of the strength that God provides to those who align themselves with His purpose. As you move forward, this energy surge becomes a powerful tool. It enables you to move with greater purpose, to take bold action, and to step confidently into the next phases of your life. How will you use this newfound strength to propel yourself toward the fulfillment of your divine purpose? With this surge, you are not just a passive observer of life. You are an active participant, empowered and ready to overcome any obstacles that come your way. This is the cycle where many chosen ones experience what can only be described as a magnetic presence, a powerful energy that attracts others. People begin to sense an unspoken strength and vitality emanating from you, and they are drawn to your presence without fully understanding why. It's as if your energy is radiating outward, reaching those around you and inspiring admiration and respect. Have you ever noticed how people seem to gravitate toward you when you're at your best, drawn to the light you radiate? This is the moment when you truly begin to embody the strength that has been cultivated within you, and your presence becomes a reflection of the divine energy you've tapped into. However, with this newfound energy comes a warning. As the surge of power fills you, it can easily lead to arrogance and overconfidence if you are not careful. The temptation to misuse your power can creep in unnoticed, inflating your ego and causing you to focus too much on personal gain or recognition. How do you stay grounded when it feels like the world is at your feet and the temptation to place yourself above others is strong? It is essential to remember that this energy is not meant to elevate your ego. It is meant to elevate your purpose. This phase teaches you the importance of humility and balance. The energy you possess is a tool, a gift from God meant not for selfish use, but to fulfill your higher purpose and elevate those around you. What would it look like for you to use your newfound power to uplift others instead of turning inward and becoming consumed with pride? Just as the Apostle Paul warns in 1 Corinthians 10:12. So, if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. This is a reminder that even in moments of strength and clarity, humility is vital. How can you ensure that your strength does not become a stumbling block to your own growth or the well-being of others? The Bible provides the perfect example in the story of King Nebuchadnezzar. In Daniel 4:30-31, after Nebuchadnezzar had been given great power, he was overcome with pride, declaring, "Is not this the great Babylon I've built as the royal residence by my mighty power and for the glory of my majesty?" But God humbled him, and Nebuchadnezzar learned that all power and glory ultimately belonged to God. What can we learn from Nebuchadnezzar's story about the dangers of arrogance, even when we are blessed with great strength and success? Like him, it is easy to forget that our abilities are gifts, not to be used for personal glorification, but for a higher purpose. This cycle reminds you that while the energy surge can make you feel unstoppable, you are always called to serve and lift others up rather than elevate yourself above them. Your energy is a gift to be shared, to be used to help others on their own journeys and to fulfill God's greater plan. How will you use this newfound power to serve those around you, to bring light into their lives and lead them toward their own transformation? Remember, true power is not in dominating others, but in uplifting them, helping them recognize the divine potential within themselves. By using this energy with humility, you allow it to flow freely and abundantly, serving the greater good rather than just yourself. Every journey, no matter how transformative, has its moments of stillness. The fourth cycle, often referred to as the plateau, represents such a time, a period when progress seems to slow and the initial excitement of rapid change gives way to a more subtle, quieter phase. After the intense energy surge, you may find yourself in a state of stagnation, where things don't feel as dynamic or as intense as before. Have you ever experienced moments when you felt like you were stuck, wondering if the effort you put in was truly leading to change? This is the plateau, where the rush of energy has subsided and you begin to question whether the journey is still worth it. The doubts start to creep in. Am I really growing? Is there any point to all this effort? It's important to understand that this plateau is not a sign of regression. What if this stillness is actually a necessary part of the process, a moment to prepare for what's to come next? This phase is not about taking steps backward, but rather about consolidation, a time to reflect on the progress you've made and solidify the gains you've achieved. Just like a farmer who must wait patiently for the seeds to grow after planting, there are times in our lives when growth cannot be seen on the surface, but beneath it the roots are strengthening and deepening. In the Bible, we see this concept illustrated through the experience of the Israelites in the wilderness. After their exodus from Egypt, they spent years in the desert, a period marked by uncertainty, frustration, and waiting. The wilderness was not a place of defeat, but a place of preparation. Deuteronomy 8:2-3 says, "Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years, to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep his commands. He humbled you, causing you to hunger, and then feeding you with manna, which neither you nor your ancestors had known, to teach you that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord." In the same way, your plateau is a time of reflection, a period where you are being refined, tested, and prepared for the next phase of your journey. During this time, you may feel a sense of discouragement or frustration. But what if this moment is a necessary pause to allow you to gain deeper clarity and strength for the future? It's crucial to resist the urge to abandon your path during these quiet periods. Just like a mountain climber who pauses at a plateau before pushing on to the next peak, you too are being prepared for the next stage of your spiritual growth. What could you learn if you viewed this stillness as an opportunity to deepen your connection with God and reassess your goals? The plateau teaches you the importance of patience and faith. Even when you don't see immediate results, can you trust that God is still at work beneath the surface? Remember, in Isaiah 40:31, it is written, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." This is a promise that when we trust in God, even in moments of stillness, He is renewing our strength and preparing us for the next step. It's in these quiet moments that we are often being shaped the most, as our character is refined and our faith is deepened. Rather than seeing the plateau as a sign that you've hit a dead end, what if it's the perfect time to reflect on how far you've come and recalibrate for the journey ahead? The plateau is a moment to gather strength, to pause, and to reflect on your purpose. It's not about rushing forward or pushing yourself too hard, but about taking the time you need to process, consolidate, and realign. In this stillness, you are being prepared for the next surge of energy and momentum, and your faith will carry you through this quiet phase until you are ready to move forward again. The plateau is a test of patience and perseverance. It is during this phase that many chosen ones falter, mistakenly believing that stillness equates to stagnation. But what if stillness is actually an essential part of growth? A hidden season of preparation that can't always be seen on the surface. In these moments, it's easy to become discouraged, thinking that progress has stopped, that all your efforts have been in vain. However, it is crucial to remember that even in the stillness, things are happening beneath the surface. How often do we fail to see the seeds germinating deep within the soil when they are out of sight? Think of the process of a seed growing. While it seems like nothing is happening above ground, beneath the earth, the roots are spreading, the plant is strengthening, and growth is happening in ways that are invisible to the naked eye. This principle is reflected in Jesus' parable of the mustard seed in Matthew 17:20, where he says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." This small, almost invisible seed eventually becomes a large tree, just as the small, seemingly quiet moments in your plateau are laying the foundation for the tremendous spiritual growth to come. How might your current stillness be a time of unseen preparation, laying the groundwork for greater things ahead? In this phase, use the time wisely. What can you do now to deepen your connection with God during this quieter period? It's a time to refine your meditation, to cultivate deeper self-awareness, and to realign your goals. This stillness is an opportunity to focus on your inner world, to strengthen your resolve, and to ensure that your intentions are pure and aligned with your higher purpose. How can you use this time to deepen your spiritual practices, setting the stage for the breakthrough that is coming? The plateau phase teaches you to trust in the process, even when progress isn't immediately visible. Can you trust that God is working even when you can't see the results yet? Proverbs 3:5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Just as the seed must wait to break through the earth, your efforts are not wasted. They are building towards something greater. This plateau is not a sign that you are stuck. It is a preparation phase, a time to grow spiritually in ways that may not yet be obvious. It's in these quiet moments that you can deepen your faith, strengthen your relationship with God, and develop the patience necessary to embrace the next phase of your journey. Are you willing to embrace this period of stillness as a vital part of your growth, knowing that it is preparing you for the spiritual awakening that lies ahead? Trust the process, for the breakthrough is coming, and this plateau is simply a stepping stone to the next level of your divine purpose. As you approach the third month, the process of retention begins to transform not just your body and mind, but your spirit as well. This is the cycle of spiritual awakening, where the effects of your discipline begin to reach far beyond the physical realm. Your connection to the universe and to the divine intensifies, and you start to perceive life through a lens of purpose and synchronicity. Events and experiences begin to align in ways that feel almost miraculous, as if the universe itself is guiding your steps. Have you ever experienced moments when everything seemed to fall into place, as if you were in perfect harmony with the world around you? This is the energy of spiritual awakening at work, and it is a powerful confirmation that you are walking in alignment with your higher purpose. During this cycle, you'll notice that your meditation practice becomes not just deeper, but also more profound. What if your time in stillness was actually a space where your connection to the divine deepened in ways you couldn't yet comprehend? As you continue to retain and preserve your energy, you begin to tap into a level of clarity and focus that allows you to access a deeper form of spiritual insight. Your connection to God feels more immediate and tangible, and as you meditate, you begin to experience a profound sense of peace and alignment. The distractions that once clouded your mind seem to melt away, and in the silence, you hear God's voice more clearly than ever before. In this phase, your intuition also begins to sharpen like never before. Have you ever had a gut feeling that led you in the right direction, even when you couldn't explain why? This heightened sense of intuition is a direct result of your spiritual awakening. The Holy Spirit begins to work more powerfully within you, guiding your decisions and helping you navigate life with confidence and discernment. In John 14:26, Jesus promises that the Holy Spirit will teach us all things, saying, "But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you." As you continue in this cycle, your connection to the Spirit becomes more intuitive, and you find yourself being led by wisdom that is beyond your own understanding. The cycle of spiritual awakening also brings a heightened sense of awareness. You begin to see patterns in life that you once overlooked, synchronicities that feel like signs guiding you forward. What if the moments of clarity and alignment you experience are not coincidences, but divine signals meant to guide your steps? The more you retain your energy and align your spirit with God's will, the more attuned you become to His presence in your life. You begin to see how everything is interconnected, from the people you meet to the opportunities that present themselves. It's as if the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is thinning, and you can see the hand of God at work in all things. This spiritual awakening is not just about gaining new insights, but also about cultivating a deeper sense of purpose. You begin to realize that your life is part of a larger plan, and you are not simply existing. You are being guided to fulfill a divine mission. Your every action, thought, and decision begins to align with a greater sense of purpose, and the more you trust in this process, the more profound the transformation becomes. How can you fully embrace this purpose-driven life, knowing that God is orchestrating every step? The Bible provides numerous examples of individuals who experienced a spiritual awakening, those who, through their relationship with God, began to see the world through a new lens. Saul's conversion to Paul in Acts 9 is a striking example of such an awakening. Saul, who once persecuted Christians, was blinded on the road to Damascus and heard the voice of Jesus calling him to a higher purpose. In that moment of spiritual awakening, his life was completely transformed, and he went on to become one of the most influential apostles in history. What would happen if you allowed yourself to fully embrace your divine purpose, just as Paul did? As you move through this cycle, trust that the spiritual awakening you are experiencing is preparing you for something greater. What if this awakening is just the beginning of a deeper relationship with God, one that will guide you to fulfill your destiny? Embrace this phase with an open heart, knowing that as your intuition sharpens and your connection to the divine deepens, you are stepping into a more purposeful, enlightened version of yourself. During this cycle, you may start to notice coincidences or signs that feel like they are guiding you toward your true destiny. These are not random accidents or mere happenstance. They are the universe aligning with your energy. It is as if the threads of your life are weaving together, and you are being led by an invisible hand toward your higher purpose. Have you ever had moments when everything seemed to fall into place at just the right time, making you feel as though something much larger than yourself was at work? These synchronicities are powerful signals, reminders that you are in alignment with the divine flow of the universe. This phase represents a revelation, a profound understanding that goes beyond the physical and mental benefits of semen retention. You come to realize that it is not merely a practice of discipline or self-control, but a sacred act, one that aligns you with higher vibrations, frequencies that resonate with the divine. What if this practice, which may have once seemed like just a personal choice, is actually a divine calling, meant to elevate your spirit and align you with the greater purpose God has for you? In this phase, you come to see that through semen retention, you are raising your energy to a frequency that connects you to the divine, unlocking deeper levels of wisdom, clarity, and intuition. It is in this spiritual awakening that the chosen one begins to realize their role in the grand design of the cosmos. You are not just a passive participant in life, but an active co-creator, a divine instrument through which God's plan is being realized. This awakening brings a heightened sense of awareness, where you can sense how your actions and energy affect not just your immediate environment, but also the greater whole. How does it feel to realize that you are part of something much larger than yourself, that your purpose is deeply intertwined with the flow of the universe? In the Bible, we see numerous examples of individuals who, at a certain point, experienced a profound awakening to their divine role in the world. The story of Esther is a beautiful example of this. In Esther 4:14, Mordecai tells her, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Esther was called to a higher purpose, and at that moment she realized that everything in her life had led her to this pivotal moment. What if your journey, like Esther's, is leading you to a moment where you will fulfill your unique and divinely appointed purpose. As you enter this phase, trust that you are being led toward a deeper understanding of your role in the divine design. The energy you have been preserving is not just for you. It is a gift, a tool to help you fulfill your higher calling. What is your purpose, and how are you using this energy to align yourself with it? You are now in tune with the rhythms of the universe, and through your discipline, focus, and spiritual awakening, you are stepping into the role that was always meant for you. This is just the beginning of a deeper journey, one where your connection to the divine becomes clearer, and your role in the cosmic plan becomes more evident. The sixth cycle is the stage of mastery. By this point in your journey, you have reached a level of control over your energy, emotions, and desires that few will ever experience. You have cultivated such deep discipline that you can now wield your energy with intentionality and purpose. Have you ever imagined a time when you would be fully in control of your mind, body, and spirit, unwavering in the face of life's challenges? This is the phase where you truly begin to embody your divine calling as the chosen one. No longer swayed by external distractions or inner conflicts, you now stand in your power, focused, purposeful, and unstoppable. Your mind has become clear and unclouded. The mental fog that once held you back has dissipated, leaving you with a heightened sense of awareness and clarity. Thoughts come to you with precision, and decisions are made with confidence and wisdom. What would it be like to have a mind so clear that you can make choices effortlessly, knowing they align with your higher purpose? This clarity allows you to navigate life with ease, unshaken by doubts or confusion. You are no longer caught in the cycle of indecision, for you have mastered your thoughts, and your mind now serves you rather than controlling you. Physically, your body is strong and vibrant. The discipline you've maintained through retention has transformed you, not only in terms of strength and stamina, but also in how you carry yourself. You are no longer weighed down by fatigue or weakness, but energized and capable of overcoming any challenge. How does it feel to be in a state of physical vitality, where your body is no longer an obstacle, but an asset? Your body is now a reflection of the strength and energy you've cultivated within, a powerful vessel through which your divine purpose can be manifested. Most importantly, your spirit is steadfast. What does it mean to have a spirit that is unshakable, one that is fully aligned with the divine and committed to fulfilling God's plan? This is the stage where your spiritual foundation becomes unbreakable. No matter the external circumstances, your connection to God remains firm. You are not swayed by the opinions of others, nor are you easily distracted by the noise of the world. Instead, you walk with purpose, unwavering in your faith and in your resolve. How do you remain steadfast in your mission when challenges arise, knowing that your spirit is anchored in God's strength? The Bible offers a powerful example of mastery in the life of Daniel. Despite being in a foreign land, surrounded by temptations and pressures to conform, Daniel remained steadfast in his faith and commitment to God. In Daniel 1-8, it says, "But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way." Daniel's mastery over his desires and his unwavering focus on his divine purpose set him apart as a man of integrity and wisdom, trusted by God to fulfill great things. What could you accomplish if, like Daniel, you fully mastered your desires and focused solely on fulfilling God's plan for your life? At this stage, you have truly become the chosen one. You no longer feel the pull of distractions, nor are you hindered by inner struggles. Instead, you are a force of nature, focused, purposeful, and driven to fulfill your mission. The energy you once struggled to control now flows effortlessly in the direction of your divine purpose. How can you use this newfound mastery to impact the world around you, serving as a beacon of light and strength to others? Mastery is not the end of your journey, but a new beginning. With your energy, mind, body, and spirit aligned, you are now ready to move forward with unstoppable force. What will you do with this power? Now that you have achieved mastery, the next phase of your journey is about using this strength to serve others, to lead, and to fulfill your higher purpose with greater intensity and clarity. You have become a true vessel of God's will, and the path ahead is one of limitless possibility. As you reach the stage of mastery, something profound happens. People are drawn to your energy. Your presence alone becomes a source of inspiration and upliftment to those around you. Without saying a word, the strength and vitality you exude have a magnetic quality that encourages others to rise to their own potential. Have you ever felt the pull of someone's energy, where their presence alone inspired you to be better, to strive higher? That is the power you now carry, a reflection of the divine energy you've cultivated and mastered. It is no longer just about you. It is about how your energy impacts the world and the people around you. However, mastery is not the end of your journey. It is just the beginning of something even more important. With the level of mastery you have attained comes a responsibility. What does it mean to be entrusted with the power to influence others without even speaking? Now that you have control over your energy, emotions, and desires, it is your calling to guide, lead, and uplift others on their own journeys. Your energy is no longer just for your benefit. It is a tool for service, a means to help others reach their highest potential. In the Bible, Jesus exemplifies this form of mastery in his life and ministry. In Matthew 5:14-16, he tells his followers, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." Just as Jesus calls us to be a light, you too are called to shine your light in the world. The mastery you've achieved is not meant to be kept hidden, but to be shared with those who need it. How can you allow your light to shine and guide others, just as Jesus did? With this mastery, you are in a unique position to help others find their own path. As you walk in your purpose, others will look to you as an example, drawn not just to your words, but to the energy you radiate. You have the ability to inspire and uplift others simply by being who you are, a living testament to what can happen when one aligns with their divine calling. How can you use this powerful presence to help others on their own journeys of growth and transformation? Mastery also means knowing when to step forward and when to step back, understanding that your role is not to control others, but to guide them with love, compassion, and wisdom. Just as a mentor helps their student grow without taking away their ability to learn, you are called to be a guide, empowering others to walk their own paths, with you as a source of support and inspiration. What would it look like for you to lead with humility, guiding others toward their highest potential without ego or pride? Now that you've reached this level of mastery, how will you use your strength, energy, and wisdom to serve others and fulfill God's higher purpose? Your journey is far from over. In fact, it's just beginning, as you now have the opportunity to elevate those around you, to lift others up, and to lead them toward the same spiritual awakening and mastery that you've experienced. With great power comes great responsibility. How will you step into that responsibility and guide others on their path? The seventh and final cycle is transcendence, a transformative state where semen retention becomes more than just a practice. It evolves into a way of life. At this point, the energy you've cultivated flows effortlessly, no longer requiring conscious effort, as it aligns harmoniously with the cosmos. This profound shift is not just about maintaining control over one's physical energy, but about reaching a state where that energy merges with divine purpose and spiritual clarity. In this elevated state, you embody the highest version of yourself, a reflection of peace, power, and purpose that radiates from deep within. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to live in such alignment, where every action, every thought, and every moment is in tune with God's calling for you? This state of transcendence is where you become more than just an individual. You become a living testament to the power of spiritual discipline and alignment with the divine. You are no longer just a chosen one, but a beacon of light to others, a force of nature that impacts the world around you. Imagine living as a reflection of Christ's peace and strength. Could you picture yourself in this place of divine harmony? The Bible speaks to this transformation through the lives of figures like Moses, who, after spending 40 days in the presence of God, emerged glowing with divine light. Exodus 34:29-30. This physical manifestation of God's presence was a testament to Moses' alignment with God's will, just as the transcendence in semen retention represents a spiritual alignment with one's higher calling. Like Moses, you too can be transformed by God's power, living a life that radiates His light, peace, and purpose. In this cycle, there's a deep understanding that your energy is no longer just your own. It becomes a vessel for something greater. You start to realize that the more you stay aligned with God, the more your energy becomes a tool to bless others. It's as though you've unlocked a higher frequency, allowing you to engage with the world around you in a way that brings healing, guidance, and strength. Isn't it incredible to think that your personal discipline and devotion could lead you to such an extraordinary place? So, what would it look like for you to live in this transcendent state every day? What might change in your life if you embraced this powerful connection with the divine and allowed it to guide every part of your existence? This is the ultimate goal, the culmination of all the cycles before it. It is the moment when you transcend the physical, spiritual, and mental limitations to walk fully in the light of God's purpose for your life. Transcendence represents the ultimate gift of semen retention, a profound realization that the energy you've cultivated is no longer just yours. It becomes part of a greater universal flow, connecting you to the divine and to the cosmos in ways beyond what you can see or understand. This powerful shift allows you to create, inspire, and transform the world around you. Imagine having the ability to manifest change not only in your own life, but in the lives of others through your presence and actions. The energy you have learned to harness becomes a tool for God's greater plan, enabling you to serve and uplift those around you. The Bible teaches us about divine energy and its potential through the stories of those who followed God's call. Consider the story of Jesus, who, through his connection to God, performed miracles, healed the sick, and transformed lives. Matthew 14:14. His life was a manifestation of the power of divine energy flowing through him. In a similar way, when you reach the state of transcendence through retention, you begin to live out the highest potential of your calling, radiating the transformative energy that can bring healing and blessings to those around you. Have you ever felt that inner spark, a divine calling urging you to do more, to be more? This transcendence, this alignment with God's flow, is where that spark becomes a roaring fire. It's where your life takes on new meaning, where every action and thought is filled with purpose. Through this connection, you can see how your energy, once focused solely on self-control, expands to benefit the world around you, creating an atmosphere of healing, positivity, and growth. It's important to remember that the journey of transcendence doesn't happen overnight. As the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Just as the path to wisdom and understanding in the Bible was a process for individuals like David, who had to face many trials before becoming king, 1 Samuel 16:13. So too will your journey of transcendence unfold over time. Each step you take in this practice is a step closer to living in alignment with your higher calling. Start today. Embrace the hidden power that comes with retaining your energy and see where it leads. With each conscious decision to harness your energy for divine purpose, you move closer to living a life that not only elevates you but also transforms the world around you. Will you take that first step toward the divine flow that awaits? In conclusion, the 7 cycles of semen retention go far beyond physical discipline. They are a sacred journey designed to help God's chosen ones elevate their energy and step into the fullness of their divine purpose. These cycles are not only about personal transformation, but also about tapping into a higher frequency of spiritual power that God has made available to us. As we move through each cycle, we unlock deeper levels of wisdom, clarity, and connection with God, allowing us to carry out His mission with strength and grace. By embracing these cycles, we align ourselves with the divine flow of energy that leads to spiritual awakening. It's a path that brings us closer to the life God intended for us, a life full of purpose, peace, and abundant blessings. While the journey may be challenging at times, we are never alone in this process. God's presence guides us every step of the way, strengthening our resolve and helping us overcome obstacles. As we continue to practice semen retention, we become more attuned to His will, and our lives reflect the high-frequency energy that He has called us to embrace. For those of you who have found value in this message, I invite you to support this channel through Super Thanks. Your donations, no matter how big or small, play a vital role in keeping this content flowing to those who need it most. Every contribution helps us continue spreading this message of spiritual growth and transformation. But even if you choose not to donate, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and for taking part in this journey. Your support, your presence, and your commitment to growth are what truly make this community special. If this video has spoken to you, I encourage you to like, comment, and share it with those who may benefit from hearing this powerful message. It's through sharing that we can all uplift each other and continue walking together on this path of spiritual elevation. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can stay connected with the blessings that are coming your way. May God's grace continue to surround you as you walk in His light and pursue the high-frequency energy that He has called you to. You are His chosen one, and your journey to spiritual transformation, abundance, and purpose is just beginning. Keep moving forward with faith, knowing that He is guiding you every step of the way. Stay blessed, and may His favor continue to manifest in your life.